Hello there, Cult Lords fans. Thanks for stopping by the Cult Lords channel. And we are here to do another movie review for you.
Juicy review.
And this one's about your father, Dane.
Uh-oh. What did you do now?
He wants his beer, damn it, and his coffee.
That's right, his caffeinated coffee and his beer.
Yes. Your mom is
I'm gonna hear about this after.
Your mom is like keeping it from him.
Get ready for some comments.
Okay. Alright, so the movie that we are reviewing is about my father. And it stars Robert De Niro.
An up-and-coming Robert De Niro.
Up-and-coming Robert De Niro. And Sebastian Maniscalco. Have you ever seen him?
He is definitely an up-and-coming, but I mean, he's known in the comedic circle.
Well, he's actually been around for a while.
Movies?
So I did look to see if he's done any movies, and he's played a couple of bit parts in movies, but he's done voiceover work for like animated stuff. Oh, because he would have a very good voice.
I would only know him from comedic, getting coffee with comedians in cars or whatever.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, I've seen that.
Like the third season or whatever it is. It's funny. Yeah. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. So, if you're just new to our channel and you're stopping by, what we ask is you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Oh, you're going to do a little night spritz before.
You want me to go?
Not really. Not with Tiberius.
Tiberius!
If it was any other cologne, I might say, sure, do that. But, man,
actually, I'm okay with
this. I do not like the smell of that at all. No.
I didn't spray it.
No.
Smell it.
No, I've smelled it before.
Smell this!
I've smelled it.
Well, there was a joke in something about
So, like I was trying to say...
Tiberius!
Subscribe, hit the like button, and comment. Tell us if you like this movie about my father. And as much as we liked it. How much did we like it? You're going to have to find out in a few minutes.
You already know what I think?
Because
we don't talk about this, by the way, ahead of time. We really do not try to reveal.
No.
But occasionally hints come out.
We write our cards, which you will see. We write them like separate rooms.
And then Deloitte and Touche comes back and delivers them.
Yes. All right, so we always like to start our movie reviews with a cocktail of some kind. Mm-hmm. Dane, what will we be drinking this week?
We are drinking the High West Old Fashioned Barreled Finish Cocktail.
Nice. So these are pre-made Old Fashions.
Yeah.
How many Old Fashions, how many cocktails do you get in it? Does it say?
It doesn't say. Oh, it says pour 6.
Pour 6 cocktails.
That seems... I don't know. That seems light to me, but I guess if you really want it, 43%. The interesting thing about this is that they do all your typical old-fashioned ingredients together with Demura sugar,
bitters,
whiskey, 3 dashes of bitters. Then they put it into a barrel and let it sit for another several months. I don't know what it is. 3 months in a rye used rye barrels.
All right, well let's.
So that's where you get all the nuances from. So let's dig this up. Got one of these like funky cork. Reminds me of this old school thing my parents.
Well, you can smell the citrus.
Yeah.
There's no orange peel in here like there normally is, but.
I mean, it's definitely old fashioned level.
Oh yeah. It's pretty good.
It's tasty.
It's not bad. So
you got some nuance,
Usually when you buy like cherry Coke, it's horrible. It's not like at the fountain, whatever, where they would pour a Coke and then put in the cherry flavoring. Then you got the real good cherry Coke, right? So, all right.
It's tasty. Highly recommend.
All right.
You can get your hands on it.
All right. If you have not seen this movie, we do have a warning for you. Spoiler warning!
What?
We are going to go into heavy spoilers and talk about what happened in this movie. And if you don't want that ruined for you, hit the pause button. Go watch the movie. It's now on streaming. It's now on Blu-ray. And you can watch this movie.
Juicy Blu-ray right here.
And then come back and see if your opinion matches with ours. Alright, now that we got the spoiler warning out of the way, Dane, as you know, we always like to give our scores to the general public and share that. And I know, industry careers might crumble and fall based on what we say. We understand that.
It's hard to avoid that responsibility.
If we don't like a movie, you never know. People might go on strike and say, have better scripts.
Oh, that's right. That just happened recently, right?
All right, but before we go into our scores, we always like to hear what the general public thinks about this movie, so we talk about the Rotten Tomatoes scores. And Dane, have you kept your eyes away from the Rotten Tomatoes scores?
Yes.
Have you not been poking around in Rotten Tomatoes?
No, have not touched Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. Oh.
Go ahead.
What? How do you sign Rotten Tomatoes for the hard of hearing? Okay. All right. So all right.
Could mean a lot of things, but
let's
specifically wrong.
Since you've avoided it, let's see what you guess.
All right.
The critics thought about my father.
87.
87. And what do you think the audience thought about it?
94.
Man, I have a feeling where you're going to go then. I mean,
that's
because
right. I'm going to be in the 60s.
The critics gave this a 35%.
No. Are you BSing me? Oh my God.
And then the audience gave it an 81%.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
Huge difference.
I'm sorry.
That's almost like 50 points
I'm going to raise my hand and complain to the front desk.
Yeah.
The critics have their heads up their asses.
All right. Well, let's see what, more importantly, the Cult Lords thought of that. And we got to thank Larry, who's our representative to our sponsor, Deloitte and Douche. They tabulate our scores and keep them under lock and key until it's time to reveal. And then if you're looking for an accounting firm, need some accounting, go Google Deloitte and Douche.
They do a good job with the taxes.
And then tell us what you think.
We've only been audited a few times.
Yeah.
But, survived each time.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what the Cult Lord scores are. You ready?
All right.
On the count of 3. 1.
Uno.
2.
Dos.
3.
Tres. What? Man.
Pretzel legs are awesome. 9.2.
Feeding us peacock. 7.6. You went low. I protest.
No.
I think you and your family watched this and you were like, this is funny. There's a lot of good stuff in here. But
we laughed. We laughed, but we laughed more in the second half because in the first half we didn't laugh that much. And
no.
I mean, we were looking. I mean, it was forcing the comedy on us, but just didn't think it was that funny. But in the second half, yeah, we got some good laughs. But oh well, 7.6, 9.2.
Oh, whoops.
Has he been shot? He got hit in the head by a boom.
Did it just give you a trim?
It's
you got a mullet? It's still sitting. Oh, it's still sitting up there.
You gotta
watch out for that back mullet.
Yeah.
You just heard that, right? They just shaved off your rat tail.
Yeah.
You had a rat tail before. Did the audience know that?
Didn't have a rat tail.
Did you have a rat tail, by the way, in high school or anything?
No,
did you ever
not
try
really.
that?
I did have kind of the mullet kind of look.
Sweet knucklehead.
Like if I can find a
Business
picture.
in the front.
If I can find a picture. Did you have a mullet?
No.
Kind of at all?
No, never.
I'd like to see what your high school
It was
haircut looked like.
completely parted, trim cut.
Oh,
I didn't.
man.
I went to Catholic high school. There was no mullets in the. Well, you could get away with. That was actually the one thing you could get away with. If you grew facial hair,
Yeah.
the dean would be like, "Here's a razor. Go in the mirror and shave it without any,
If I could actually grow facial hair in high school, I would have been excited.
No.
Other than like the little kind of pube looking, hairs there, but
caterpillars.
Yeah. So. All right.
All right.
Man, you really like like this movie.
I did. I was very entertained.
You watched this with your wife.
Yep.
So you guys were both just cracking up at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, me more. I'd look at her and she was like, oh, she's not laughing as much as I am. You know what I loved about this movie is that, so I grew up, my family, my mom's family is French Canadian. So like I have all these relatives that only spoke French growing, you know, and like the grandparents and great aunts and stuff. So, you know, we had this from my standpoint, we were more Midwest. We'd go out to Massachusetts and we'd be out there with them, and it would be like in totally a different culture. But because we were separated, you'd step into that and see that. I mean, and in your particular case, I'm assuming when you go to Brazil, you feel like you're in another culture completely, right? I mean, it's a totally different...
We're in a different country, yeah. So
but I mean, that's how this feels to me.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
So I was born in California and lived there till about 8th, then moved to Louisville, then moved to Missouri. But my mom's side of the family are a bunch of hillbillies out of Arkansas. And like through her, we're like related to like Jim Lovell, who flew on Apollo 13, played by Tom Hanks. Like, so a lot of her family, the last name is Lovells, right? Yeah. And then...
Oh, that was her maiden name, Lovell?
No, that was like her grandmother's maiden name.
Oh, okay.
And then then through another side of the family, we're related to the Clanton gang that rode with Jesse James. And then when Wyatt Earp went down to Tombstone and he faced up against Ike Clanton and all the Clantons, we're related to those Clantons through my mom. So like when I would go
Star Trek episode.
When we went to a family reunion in Rogers, Arkansas one time, there's where I felt the culture shock.
Right.
Because it was like everybody's hillbillies, and
And you're from the big city.
Yeah, I was from the big city. Yeah, and I was the foreigner. The son of a foreigner.
That's right.
My dad.
You immigrant. Yeah. You were a kid of an immigrant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where we felt the culture shock. But I could see like in this, it is kind of funny to see the two different types of worlds collide. Mm-hmm. You had that Chicago. Italian, Chicago, and then you had that East Coast, kind of wasp.
But I thought it was so clever when they're like, it's immigrant against immigrant.
Yeah.
They were on the Mayflower immigrants, and then he was from Italy and after World War II immigrants.
Right.
And so I thought, and then the other thing too was like, I was really happy that they came from Chicago. Because I thought it was New York, Brooklyn for sure.
Right.
And then they completely switched it over there. And then I thought that was hilarious that De Niro was a hairstylist.
Yes.
I mean, that was just like stuff you didn't expect.
Well, because you would expect if he's from Sicily, he would have been a barber. But he was like, no, I'm not a barber.
And he had the ponytail hair.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, De Niro probably loved the fact that he got to dress up like that. Because that was a role he's never done before.
Right.
Hairstylist for ladies.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I just make hairstyles based on your cheekbones and your aura and everything. So I thought that was clever. I mean, I don't know.
I did like... And as a comedian, I like this Sebastian Maniscalco. I've listened to him before, and he does make me laugh, But this whole thing is like building on the Italian tropes, you know what I mean? And
I agree. I mean, maybe, and might be the biggest difference is that the only exposure to him that I have is on that Comedians with Cars.
Oh, okay.
So I've never actually seen any of his stand-up back, and you
have. He does a lot of.
So I'm assuming this movie probably had a lot of callbacks into that.
Right,
he
was. There was two writers, and he was one of them. So for this movie,
but I thought it was because I've got I just grew up with that kind of even though it was an Italian, but there was a little bit of that, but French. So I just thought that it's wow, you guys really put a lot of thought into this with the cologne and the.
I've never heard that.
Night cologne. Yep.
Before, at nighttime to go to bed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know why I had this weird memory of an uncle who used to do that. Now that was
to go to bed. You put on cologne.
Yeah, you want to smell good for going to bed. It's like you ever take showers before going to bed? I mean, that's another thing. It's kind of in that same you know, like freshening up before going to bed kind of thing. But then the whole, like fish out of water, like his dad's so pain in the ass, stubborn, and then he has to go out there and meet her. And
it was obviously, though, a very tried and true formula. You know, they go out there, dad embarrasses kid, they're on the rocks, but somehow he realizes in the end that his dad was always there for him. Yes. He goes running for the dad, brings the dad back. Everything is happy ever after, right?
No.
So
it's that kind of movie. You weren't going to be. You don't want to piss De Niro.
Yeah. I mean, like, did you like Leslie Bibb in this?
Get this, girl. The style, the positivity, personality. God, this was my dream woman.
Sebastian! Actually, I was okay with it because the reason I was okay with her is because it started out thinking, oh, it's her, and this is going to turn into something like bitchy, uptight girl or whatever. And I thought, okay, they started that way, and then they kind of, there was more development with her than normally you might think. And that she all of a sudden was arguing with her parents. Like, what?
All right.
I mean, she came off as totally stuck up and then realized that they were basically buying all her artwork.
Yeah.
And then she got mad. And she was like, I'm leaving. Right. And so at that particular junction, that was right when he kind of got integrated with the parents. And she was pissed off with them. So I thought that was like, okay, that was fine writing. I mean, she's mad.
I just didn't buy them as a couple, first of all. Like,
really?
No.
I was okay with that.
But, I mean, I knew she had to be, like, from this WASP kind of family to make this premise that they had work. What did you think about, like, the rest of the family? Kim Cattrall.
Allie's mother, whose actual birth name was Tigger MacArthur.
My background, Anna, darling. You don't know anything about me.
I guess she's like a conservative, like, senator.
Well, I know they implied that, but they never flat out. You notice they never declared her what side she was on.
Right.
And so
I thought they said once she's a conservative.
Nah, I don't think so.
And that's why she went.
I think
she was in the army.
Well, you found that later that she was in the army when she all of a sudden her and De Niro were smoking a cigar together. Yeah. But I thought that I can't 100% remember this, but that was the big thing that I thought was like, okay, because they really spread the payoff. I mean, did you see it coming that he was going to fix her hair?
What is this? This isn't at all what I asked you to do.
Well, yeah, you see, I don't really do requests.
Yes.
When did you see it coming?
I knew a long time that when he went there, I go, oh, I bet he's going to work on her hair.
Well, why would you think on her and not anybody else? Because they didn't play it up. They didn't showed her on TV.
I'm telling you, I said I knew that he was going to work on her hair somehow. And I thought, like, he was going to work on her. I didn't know, like, he was going to cut it short like that.
Okay, well, maybe that's what I'm getting at.
I thought he was going to work on her hair, and she was going to fall in love, like, with what he did. Well, he did cut her hair. She did not fall in love with what he did. But then when, of course, all the social media ratings came in, she's like, oh, I like it. It's very me, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah,
she embraced it after being pissed off about it.
Because they make a big deal, Dane, about him being the hairdresser. Right. He knew when he was going to go there, he was going to work.
But I guess here's what okay, yes, I knew the hairstylist was coming. I didn't know he was going to shave her head like that. That was a big surprise. So
no, I didn't know
that was a big twist in the sense that, oh, okay, she now has to go on the internet and, do all this stuff, and it comes off as the power woman.
Sugar MacArthur is going viral today, and for the first time, for all the right reasons. This new haircut is giving me like G.I. Jane 2 months out of boot camp. It's giving me gender fluidity. It's giving me fresh, hot, gorgeous. Whoever did that haircut, America thanks you.
Right.
And then, of course, you find out later she was in the Marines or Army or something. Yeah. But Navy. He was Army. She was Navy.
What did you think about, like, the one brother?
I love you.
Who was, like,
Oh.
There's first the cocky brother.
Yeah.
But then there was the weird brother that was like into the...
There was definitely a bit of the, what was it, the wedding crashers?
Yeah.
There was an element of that in there.
Yeah.
Where one brother was he's the aggressive douchebag.
His name was William Love Collins the 13th, so everybody called this guy Lucky. And that's exactly what he was.
And then the other one was like sensitive to like the utmost of, I need to give you a music tune to soothe your soul. And
right. Yeah.
Actually, to tell you the truth, that they didn't give him enough. They could have just taken him out. Because he didn't really have any... There was nothing major that happened with that character.
Which one?
The meditative brother.
No, he actually played his role. Like, Robert De Niro used his bowls to...
Well, that's it. That was it. That was the big payoff. He used his bowls for his salad.
He had the talk with Robert De Niro, and he felt like he healed him. And then at the end, he brings in the girlfriend who was... the Nigerian princess that everybody thought like was a scam at first, he played his role. So,
which is still probably a scam in the end.
Yeah,
but she showed up.
Yeah,
there was a lot of stuff that kind of glossed over. Like, how did you get here? Did you pay for a helicopter to pick her up? Or
I kind of thought, because we did the trailer reaction to this movie, I kind of thought I saw all the funny parts in that trailer to this movie.
Well, the only thing I remember distinctly from that trailer was the one where he's on his bathing suit and it drops and he shoves his cock in front of the window.
Honey, my mom can't unsee that!
Hey, Seabass, say hi to TikTok.
His what?
His peacock.
Oh. They also... Right? I didn't think you said that. All right. They also show in the trailer... where Robert De Niro goes, let me make a meal for you. And then they show the dead peacock feathers. And then he's like, you cooked their pet for dinner? Those were the two funniest parts of this movie.
Oh. Well, and then the funny thing is about that, when the dog finds the feathers, I'm like, well, that's dumb. Because all they're going to do is track back where it was. It was buried with a garbage bag around it. Like, that was stupid to me. But, yeah.
You got to suspend your... disbelief.
And to your point there, it's like, really, Robert De Niro? Oh, that character, not him per se, would go out to this super uber rich place, knowing the birds are around, and then go and kill one of their prized peacocks. I thought
there was no other protein there.
Well,
in the house.
Couldn't go jump in a helicopter and go get some. He's gonna go kill the prized peacock.
Dang, this is where you got to suspend your
belief.
Yeah. This is the movie. This is the movie you were presented with. So, like I said, the two funniest parts of the movie are him on that jet thing and then going up against the window, and then him cooking the bird. Both shown in the trailer. I hate that when a trailer or a movie does that, because show me some funny parts, but leave me some other meat on the bone that I've not seen in the movie. Yeah. I felt like I saw everything in the trailer.
It was the Christmas card. Got to dress up like that. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was equally as funny as those two particular things.
No, there wasn't.
You got to say the whole thing with the flying around with his wiener on the window. That was obviously the funniest thing in the entire movie. But
I think cooking the peacock was more fun.
No.
Yeah.
When you saw that coming and his pants drop, and he's like, "What? Your pants are dropped!"
Yeah.
And they knew it was coming.
Yeah, my parents laughed.
Well, how did you even know he was cooking the peacock? How could you? That was like a very brief, funny moment because you didn't even know it until he absolutely said it.
No, it was completely in the trailer, Dave.
Oh, well, that's because you remembered the trailer. I didn't remember the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, then what did your parents say? They didn't see the trailer. Oh, well, did they watch our review? Was that why they knew it was coming?
No.
Oh.
No, they laughed at that part too. But I knew everything that was coming.
You knew it was coming?
Yeah.
I forgot. Everything goes out one ear, out the other. We do so many trailers.
But I keep them all.
I remember the wiener thing, but I did not remember the peacock thing.
Yeah.
Ironically, they're very related. I remember one cock, but I don't remember the other cock.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why you remember that one, though. So, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was an average movie and not a better rom-com.
It sounds like you had high expectations. Because I came into this with no expectations.
I don't know. Well, you know what? Like I said, if I had laughed at some other things that I had not previously seen, I might have rated this higher. Mm-hmm. But everything that I thought was funny, I'd already seen in the trailer. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I watching 90 minutes of a movie, 2 hours of a movie, if you're just going to show all the funny parts of the trailer?
You know, and the other interesting thing, too, is they never showed any of his buddies. You notice he was just completely on his own. And his woman and his girlfriend. That was it.
Right.
There was never any backstory to him other than all the family stuff. But I guess they figured, well, we can't bring a buddy in here but that would have added to it, I think, because then his buddy would have been kind of like in Get Out when there was a buddy like commenting on stuff the whole time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like there could have been a whole lot more. Comedy there.
You were disappointed.
And I was just disappointed by thinking I've seen everything that I need to see. The only thing that I found kind of amusing that I didn't see in the trailer was the tennis match, right? Where he'd been taking some lessons, and for some reason he didn't want to show his dad that he was good at sports, right? So yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely, there was a lot of family cultural things. And did you watch any of the featurettes?
No.
I watched one of them. And so the female director also came from an Italian family. So she and what's his name? Sebastian was like really trying to make sure they captured a lot of that kind of aspect in the movie.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah.
All right, well, that's why I gave it about a C.
Is it below or above My Rich Fat Greek Wedding? What is the name of that one?
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah. Is it below that or above that?
It's probably a little bit below that. I wasn't a big fan of that one either, but that one I felt like there was a lot more freshness, and when I did actually see it, I didn't feel like I knew everything that was coming. So
yeah.
All right, well. That's what the Cult Lords think. What do you think? Did you like this movie? How did you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? Were you more in the Dane line, 9.2? Were you more in the JR line, 7.5? You know, what did you think?
Actually, well, I was going to say, what was the rating? It was Critic was super low, right?
35%.
581. I'm more, look at that. I'm very close.
Yeah. So
35. I can't believe it's 35.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of the critic and being a
You are so in the critical side,
so,
yes. But still, 35.
Yeah, so tell us what you think in the comments right after you hit subscribe and you hit the like button. We greatly appreciate both of those, subscriptions and likes. They really do help the channel. And Dane?
Yes?
Tell us more about your father.
I'm going to whip out my scissors and do got that rat tail off. Look at this. Perfect. Fits his aura.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody.